If you are waiting for your EB2 or EB3 green card, stop what you are doing right now. Because the U.S. Department of State has just released some of the biggest forward movement in the Visa Bulletin that we have seen in years, and it is directly affecting thousands of skilled workers, professionals, and green card applicants from India, China, and countries around the world. But here is the critical part. This movement comes with a serious warning that you absolutely must understand before you act. Stay with us until the very end, because this update could change your immigration timeline in ways both good and risky. Welcome back to Global Immigration Scope, your trusted source for clear, accurate, and up-to-date immigration news from around the world. I'm host Name, and today we are breaking down one of the most talked about developments in U.S. employment-based immigration right now. The dramatic forward movement in the EB2 and EB3 categories in both the March and April 2026 Visa Bulletins. Everything we share today is based on official data from the U.S. Department of State's Visa Bulletin, statements from USCIS, and analysis from senior immigration law experts. We will keep it simple, accurate, and, most importantly, honest. Let's get into it. What happened? The U.S. Department of State releases a Visa Bulletin every single month. This document tells green card applicants whether their priority date is current, meaning whether they are now eligible to move forward in the green card process. For the March 2026 Visa Bulletin, something dramatic happened. The EB2 category for India, which had been completely frozen for years, suddenly jumped forward by approximately 335 days. That is nearly a full year of movement in a single month. Then in the April 2026 Visa Bulletin, even more forward movement was added. India's EB2 final action date advanced to July 15, 2014, which is significant given it was stuck near mid-2013 for much of 2025. For the dates for filing chart, which controls when you can submit your adjustment of status application, India's EB2 moved to January 15, 2015. India's EB3 also moved forward on the dates for filing chart to January 15, 2015. That is an approximately 5-month jump for EB3 India in just one bulletin. Why did this happen? So why is this happening now? There are two main reasons, and understanding both is very important. Reason number one, the 75-country visa processing pause. In January 2026, the U.S. administration suspended immigrant visa processing for nationals of 75 countries at overseas consulates. This was tied to presidential proclamations 949 and 998, related to national security and public interest reviews. Here is what this means for EB2 and EB3 applicants. When fewer visas are issued through consular processing abroad, especially in family-based categories, unused visa numbers can be redistributed. Those numbers can spill over into employment-based categories. The State Department appears to be using some of those freed-up numbers to push EB2 and EB3 dates forward. Reason number two, a possible shift in demand. According to immigration attorneys and experts, including former Department of State official Charles Oppenheim, USCIS data showed that new EB2 national interest waiver filings actually declined in recent quarters. When fewer new applications are entering the pipeline, while existing cases continue to be processed, the backlog pressure eases, and dates can move forward more quickly. When does this take effect? The March 2026 Visa Bulletin took effect on March 1, 2026, and USCIS confirmed it would accept adjustment of status filings based on the dates for filing chart for that month. The April 2026 Visa Bulletin is effective April 1, 2026. USCIS has confirmed it will continue accepting filings based on the dates for filing chart in April as well. So if your priority date falls within the newly advanced cutoff dates, you may be eligible to file right now. Now let's break down the specific numbers so you know exactly where things stand. Final action dates, April 2026. Visa Bulletin. These are the dates that determine when USCIS can actually approve and issue your green card. EB2 India advanced to July 15, 2014. EB3 India remained unchanged in final action, still around November 15th, 2013. EB1 India, advanced to April 1st, 2023. EB2 and EB3 rest of world, current, meaning no wait for most other countries. EB2 China, no movement on final action dates in April. Dates for filing, April 2026. Visa Bulletin, these are the dates that determine when you can file your I-485 adjustment of status application to get work authorization and advance parole while you wait. EB2 India, dates for filing, advanced to January 15th, 2015. EB3 India dates for filing, advanced to January 15th, 2015 EB2. China dates for filing, no movement. What does filing mean at this stage? Filing your I-485, even before your final action date becomes current, is extremely valuable. Once your I-485 is accepted, you can apply for an Employment Authorization Document, or EAD, and an Advance Parole Travel Document. This means you are no longer tied exclusively to your H-1B or employer sponsor for work authorization, and you can travel internationally more freely. However, and this is very important, you cannot receive your actual green card until your final action date also becomes current. Filing is not the same as approval. Now let's talk about what this really means for you. The immigrants and applicants watching this video, the good news. For many EB2 and EB3 India applicants who have been waiting for over a decade, these movements represent a genuine window of opportunity. If your priority date is now within the dates for filing range, you should take this opportunity to begin preparing your I-485 package immediately. Getting your EAD and advance parole locked in provides enormous flexibility and peace of mind. For EB2 and EB3 applicants from most other countries, including Mexico, Philippines on EB2, and all other nations, categories are already current, meaning you can proceed without delay. Here is where we need to be very direct with you. Multiple senior immigration experts, including former Department of State official Charles Oppenheim, have publicly stated that this movement may be, in their words, artificial. What does that mean? It means the dates may have moved forward primarily because visa numbers that would normally be used by consular applicants in those 75 affected countries are temporarily unavailable. Once that policy changes or once those visa numbers are reallocated back, the dates could move backwards, a process known as retrogression. The pattern in recent months supports this concern. February 2026, no movement for EB2 and EB3. India March 2026, large, sudden forward jump. April 2026, additional forward movement. Sudden large movements followed by retrogression have happened before in immigration history, and experts say it could happen again. The Ogletree law firm and other experts have specifically noted additional demand and future policy shifts could necessitate retrogression later in the fiscal year. Bottom line, if you are eligible to file, gather your documents and file as quickly as possible. Do not wait and assume the dates will keep moving forward. Consult with a qualified immigration attorney before making any decisions. Looking ahead, here is what immigration professionals and analysts are watching closely. First, the fate of the 75-country visa processing pause. If that policy is reversed or relaxed, the visa numbers currently flowing into employment-based categories could dry up quickly. Retrogression, particularly for India EB2 and EB3, would be almost certain in that scenario. Second, overall fiscal year demand. We are now past the midpoint of fiscal year 2026. As the fiscal year progresses, the State Department will become more conservative about advancing dates to ensure it does not overissue green cards beyond the annual limits set by Congress. Third, legislative and policy changes. The current administration's approach to immigration enforcement and visa processing remains dynamic. Any new presidential proclamations, executive orders, or policy shifts could directly alter the Visa Bulletin in unexpected ways. For EB2 and EB3 rest of world applicants, categories should remain current or stable for the foreseeable future, barring major policy changes. For China and India applicants, manage expectations carefully. The long-term structural backlog, driven by annual per-country caps of just 7%, has not changed. These bulletins represent temporary windows, not permanent solutions. The March and April 2026 Visa Bulletins brought some of the largest EB2 and EB3 forward movement we have seen in years, particularly for India. This was driven by a combination of the 75-country visa processing pause and a possible easing of new petition demand. If your priority date is now current under the dates for filing chart, you may have a real window to file your I-485, secure work authorization, and get advance parole. But retrogression is a real and credible risk, so act promptly and consult an immigration attorney. We will continue tracking the May 2026 Visa Bulletin and all related policy updates right here on this channel. Thank you for watching Global Immigration Scope. Stay informed and subscribe for the latest immigration news and visa updates from around the world.